welcome folks, Fearless Filmmaker event here.
Roll sound. Cameras rolling.
Hello and welcome to Butter City. Our topic today is going to be the 48-hour film project. Armed with a common set of parameters and their own creativity, filmmakers are told to get out there and go from pre-pro to final cut in a short 48 hours. This competition originally started in Washington, D.C. in 2001, but since then has spread around the world. We have with us today the producer of the Minneapolis chapter of the 48-hour film project, Ira Livingston. Ira, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
It's good to have you here.
Thanks.
So you're kind of the mind behind the madness and the masochism.
Yeah, I'm the producer or show coordinator that gets all the sponsors on, the local sponsors, the local judges, and brings it together.
And you're really running that. I mean, the first night of the competition, when people are getting together and pulling their information together, is such a madhouse.
Oh, it's insane.
So I guess let's talk about kind of why they're there and like how the competition works. Let's give people a kind of a primer, of people who don't know.
Okay, the parameters is that once you register on the website,
You make a team.
yep, you form your team, and you pretty much call all the actors you can get a hold of. And then you put them on a waiting list, and you get busy locking down your locations. And that's all you're allowed to do. What happens then is you arrive at the kickoff, and you go up and you draw a genre out of a hat, literally out of a
Yes.
top hat that we've got. And that locks you into what type of film you can make that weekend. Now, to make sure that nobody has pre-wrote anything or anything like that, we turn around and we give you a character, a prop, and a line of dialogue. And now, regardless of what genre you drew, you have to fit those three elements into your storyline.
And that's what's kind of fun too, because at the end, you know, you show all of them.
Right.
And then it gets narrowed down to some favorites, you know, by judges and by the audience too. Is you you hear the same line of dialogue in every single movie.
Right.
And then you see that same prop
Exactly.
in every single one, and the same name of the same character and that kind of thing.
And that's the fun thing about it for the audience, is because then it becomes a game to see how your competition actually used it,
Yeah,
as opposed to yours.
you know, I think that some of my favorites are when you finish the movie and you're like, I didn't even realize that they said that line, or I didn't even realize that they used that prop, when they bury it so far in the background. Some people use it and it's so overt. They use it overtly just to get rid of it, you know, so they can get on with their story, but some people really bury it
Exactly.
quite nicely. What kind of success has Minneapolis had? I mean, we're kind of in flyover country here. It started in D.C., but it's all over the U.S. now.
Right. In 2004, that was when I first brought it to Minneapolis. And right off the bat, we had a film called Stalemate that
Sure.
ended up taking third internationally in the entire competition. So right off the bat, Minneapolis just kind of made its stake and claim that it was a
Contender.
huge contender. And slowly since then, it's progressed, not necessarily as far as, you know, being the third top film in the competition, but city-wise, like last year we had 85 teams in competition, which made us the third largest city around the world in this competition.
Wow.
And so in that aspect, definitely Minnesota has put its mark on the map.
Are you expecting a big turnout again?
I would love to top 100 teams this year. Boston, I just saw their numbers for this year. They're going to end at about 92, and they've always broke 100. DC now has 100 teams. They might go to 104. But I'd love to just blow them completely out of the water and say Minneapolis owns the competition.
So when the films are finished and made, I mean, last year the showing went on for days.
Right.
And it took like 4 or 5 days, I think, to see all of them.
Exactly.
There's so many teams.
And we're lucky enough where we work with Lauren at the Riverview Theater.
Yeah.
His theater being so large, we're able to do 2 shows a night, and that's 2 completely different shows. And you're like, like you said, it rolled over into the next week. We had 7 complete different viewings
Wow.
of films.
And talk about, I mean, it's just kind of a neat byproduct. Talk about a networking thing.
Right.
When you sit in a 700-seat theater, and you're with all these people in the film business, I mean, you're bound to run into someone that you either have worked with or you would like to work with.
Right.
For sure. This first clip came from, actually, you also produced the project up in
Fargo, North
North Dakota. Can you set up this first clip we're going to watch?
The first clip that we're going to watch is actually last year's Fargo's Best Winner that won the Best of Fargo title and went on to compete against the other cities internationally. It's a short film called Laneway, and the interesting thing about this is that it was a team of high schoolers that went into this competition, which is both amateur and professional, and they walked away with the winning honors.
Awesome. Let's take a look.
Give me the money. Next time I want it all. Plus interest. Tony West, how's your mother?
Not so good. Treatment's emptying my bank account.
We'll see what we can do for our favorite security guard.
Let me guess. This isn't all of it.
Right again?
How did he know that?
See, kid, this man you're working for, he knows. I mean, he knows everything. It's like, when he comes to a door, he knows who's inside, what caliber their gun is, and the bra they slept with the night before. I mean, it's like, we're walking down the street, and he knows that one of his guys is getting beat up across town. It's like he's got superpowers or something, you know?
Yeah, something like that.
Your favorite boy Jake just beat up another kid.
God, it's just what I need on a day like this.
Is there anything I can get you, Detective Costello?
Just hand me the file. I can never get my hands on Jake and his boys. They're always one step ahead of me. It's like he knows exactly where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do.
Punk almost got blood on my suit. This is my favorite suit.
Oh, I know, you got blood on my face. I can't see my girl looking like this.
See what happens when you go behind my back? I've been running these streets for a long time, and I know you know better. My boys roughed you up pretty good this time, but maybe next time they won't be so nice.
Right, sorry.
Don't go behind my back again, because I know. I always know.
Right.
Kind of a film noir piece there.
Exactly.
Which is interesting because the genre was superhero.
Superhero is
Right.
what they drew.
And you kind of saw them trying to work in, they're trying to point you in that direction, but really they weren't. You see more and more that as the competition, the years have gone by, people not just existing within the genre they're handed, but really stretching it
Exactly.
to its limits and going.
And the other thing I'd like to point out is these guys actually competed. This is the second year that they competed. The first year they had this very amateurish mockumentary, very funny, very well written. But you go from the camera work that they did in that first film to this, and I mean, everybody in the audience, the professionals included, were like, oh my gosh, you know, these guys are really taking their craft and honing it and studying it. And that's what the competition's all about.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You do see people develop, the teams develop year after year. You have a
Right.
ton of super professional teams. I know Target, sometimes will have a team, Best Buy
Right,
will have
and
a team.
that's the cool thing about Minneapolis for some reason. Unlike a majority of the bigger cities that are in competition, it's mostly amateurs and college students that are competing. But here, the professional market is just, decided to run away with this.
Yeah, you
and
see a
just
lot of
play
it
around.
involved.
And so that was kind of the other reason why I started producing it in Fargo is, if you want to better your chances, head
Yeah.
to Fargo and compete up there.
Compete up there. Yeah, because here there's so many pros. A lot of the smaller teams though do pretty well toe to toe with the big professional ones.
Exactly.
Another thing stylistically on that one though was that noir look was achieved by they shot color, right?
Right.
And then desaturated and
they shot in color and then stripped it down to black and white, and then they added that blue tinge to it that just made it's beautiful.
kind of high
It's a great
contrast
picture.
look. Let's talk about, I know that you produced Chicago for a year, as well as Minneapolis?
I produced Chicago for 3 years, actually.
And Minneapolis, those
right,
same years.
and Minneapolis. And then last year I even took it to Indianapolis and Cleveland.
So how'd you get the job? Did you just respond to an ad, into movies and long weekends, or what?
Actually, that's an interesting story. How it started was I had a friend back east that let me and my classmates know, because I was attending MCTC for my film degree, and for the first 2 years I was writing, saying, when are you coming to Minneapolis? When can I compete? Blah, blah, blah. And my daytime job to pay through school was I was a retail manager for Target. And one terrible Christmas, I just went home and changed all my correspondence with them to, okay, forget about, competing and being in it. What's it going to take for me to get you here? And here are my credentials of what I've done as a student, filmmaker and stuff. And within the next 2 months, here I was signing producer contracts, and the rest has just been going from there. So.
Yeah, it is a beast. I mean, it's amazing when you go and you show up, how much logistically is in place and is running. I mean, it is quite. Do you have assistants? Interns?
I do.
Slaves?
I get a bunch of students and a lot of friends that have, don't necessarily want to be filmmakers, but they like the atmosphere of the festival. And so I have a lot of help from family and friends. And then, definitely if anybody's interested in, helping and learning that type, definitely send me an email.
Show us this next clip. But what do we have coming up here?
This is a Minneapolis team, Sleepy Eye, which most people know if you've been following the events a while. The interesting thing about this is Sleepy Eye's director, Andrew Hunt, ended up going
on the lot.
to On the Lot.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this.
I am a happy person. You should be a happy person too. 'Cause when we play together, we have some fun, and you know that it's true. So when
I'm sad and I'm lonely.
Oh no!
And I'm feeling really blue.
Don't be blue. Always remember it's true when I say I love you.
And mayhem ensues.
Yes.
That ends with one of my favorite gun battles.
Yeah, and they're well known for doing all these behind-the-scenes shoots and documentaries of each short film that they made. They have a better copy of that called Stuffed Rebuffed on their website.
I think, yeah, I think it's on their website.
Yeah.
It's full audio because I think the genre they drew is...
Yeah, luck has it they drew the infamous Silent Film Award, which tends to limit a lot of people. But these guys, they're such a great team to watch because they always take some extra element. In this case, it was the puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fit that completely into the story.
Yeah, there's no doubt they're twisted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I always say about good directors. I think most directors who are kind of established can take a script and shoot it very technically well, and you'll have all your edits there, and you'll be able to make a story out of it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
These guys always have something that makes it individual.
Right.
They really put their own stamp on all of their work. Whether or not it had a puppet in it or not, you would definitely know it's a Sleepy Eye project. Because
Right.
they just have this quirky style about them.
Exactly.
And all their stuff really reflects it. I mean, even the opening film Andrew did to get into On the Lot was...
Polish.
He had a puppet. Or was that his first film? What was the one where the puppet gets pulled over on New Year's Eve?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was an alien?
Yeah.
I won't ruin it. Just go online and check it out. But yeah, that's also really weird. They have this weird thing for stuffed animals.
They do?
I wonder if they're furries. I'm wondering, 48-hour film festival, and well, just short films in general, always really lend themselves to comedies.
Right.
You see a majority of them are comedies.
Because a majority of, I think the reason that comedies work so well in short film is because so many people go in with the pre-aspiration they're just there for a good time. So if you see something heavier, like I like, it really stands out. But you're right, a majority of the audience is there just to see the good, happy-go-lucky stuff. And these guys take it, 4 steps forward and back. And the thing that I like about Sleepy Eye is, when I brought it in 2004, they were one of the people that called me after the event and said, we love that you brought this to Minneapolis. And they ended up making another film because they were late on the one that they turned in.
They had technical issues, didn't they?
And yeah, but the feedback that they got from Revolver, which was their first film, gave them so much encouragement that they went out and made a 2-minute film called Say Nothing. Mm-hmm. And they sent that to Tribeca, took several awards for that. And, they're one of those groups that was trying to get into the professional world and didn't know exactly how, and used the competition to make that network leap.
To grow themselves up. Because I think they started it at Home Shopping Network. Right,
exactly. And I think they got those jobs actually after? the initial year in 2004.
I like your work with puppets.
Yeah.
I think there's a spot for you here at Home Shopping.
I think they had a 6-foot rabbit in that one.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
Yeah, they're weird, man. They're good group of guys. I worked with them on some stuff before.
They're awesome.
What about your filmmaking? I know that you're doing some stuff.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to pull farther and farther back out of the 48. I enjoy doing it. I love giving people the opportunity to make films, but at the same time, I think people pigeon me and say, guess what?
You're the 48 producer.
You're the 48 producer. You're not allowed to work during the summer. And so starting last fall with Charles Bonin, we turned around and we participated in the National Film Challenge, which is the sister edition of this, where everything comes to you on the computer as opposed to going to a kickoff. And him and I co-wrote and co-produced a great film called Salvage, which is on their site, and ended up making it to the final 15 out of 172 films.
Great.
So that was a good step, and it enabled me to show more people in the industry that, you know, I'm not just a producer, I'm a writer
as well.
Exactly.
Next up, we're going to show a film that actually is not a comedy.
Right, exactly. This is Stairwell C by a group called Von Juarez, who is actually a really professional commercial maker here in the cities and also in LA. He flies back and forth between the two. And his film ended up taking Best Picture this year, which was 2006, is what these two films were. And it was so well accepted that it actually went on and played at the Cannes Film Festival over in France.
Excellent. Let's take a look.
How's it look up there? Only got to the next floor. Found these two coming down. Okay, ma'am, take a seat. Jimmy, you talk to her. How far along are you, ma'am?
8 months. Thanks for your help. Thanks a lot.
Hold this over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally. Help her. We need to get command on the horn. Let them know we found 2 more on 41. We're on 42nd. You sure? Oh, I missed one. Battalion 31.
Go ahead, 31.
Be advised that EMS is available. We've got 2 civilians up here. One of them is 8 months pregnant, up on the 42nd floor. Stairwell C. Ma'am, you think you can make it down on your own?
I'm having cramps.
We need more help here on 42. Where's triage? Are we gonna go up or not, Chief? Hold on.
Be advised, EMS is setting up triage on the ground. Traffic is heavy on the lower levels. Stand by for support.
Copy that. Do you want us to stay where we are, or we can go up?
50's up. We've got people trapped on 52 and above 90. Be advised that debris is blocking the exit.
Copy that. All right, we're going up to 52. Okay, let's move. All right, guys. We're going up to 52.
Is it true what they're saying about the planes?
You need to stay here until help arrives, ma'am. You need to just stay relaxed right now.
Is it true? Oh, God. My water. I think my water broke. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Oh, my God. My water. Hey, please, wait. Please, God. Oh, God. I can't believe this. This isn't happening. Oh, God. Breathe. It's okay. They said they're coming back.
Well, you know, I mean, you can say a lot about the movie, but it's interesting to see the just the different levels from the first clip that we showed to the last one.
Right.
Everyone who enters this thing has really got a lot of guts to just to pull it off and to finish. You're really accomplishing quite a bit.
Exactly.
But I mean, just the difference in the acting style and the shooting. Vaughn is, you know, definitely an established professional, and those other guys that are just starting out are still doing very well.
Right.
But there's quite a contrast between the level of work.
Definitely, once once you start to, I mean, from Vaughn's work here, you can definitely see the power of a simple close-up.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel and empathize so much for those characters.
Yeah. And he's done also, too, some great comedy stuff, too.
Oh,
we
yeah.
should point out. He's a very funny guy.
Exactly.
Check out Mofungo. I know you said you hadn't seen it yet, but you definitely should check out Mofungo online.
See it.
So before we go, I certainly want to make sure that we talk to people about how they can get involved and find out more about the 48.
Definitely. You can go to the website, which is www.48, those are the numbers, 48hourfilm.com.
Okay.
And you can just link to the Minneapolis or the Fargo. Both will email back to me. My email connection's on there, so it's really easy to get a hold of me there, too.
And there is a cost to enter.
There is a cost. It's
to register a team.
$135, I think, this year.
A small price for fame and fortune, though.
Exactly. I mean, if you look at it that you take that and divide it amongst your group, then it's like $5 a person.
Sure. Yeah. And then when does the competition take place?
In Fargo, it's going to be the 16th through the 18th of May. And if you plan on going up there, you can actually shoot your film down here. Just make sure you get it turned in on time up at the drop-off up there.
Wow.
And then Minneapolis is, I believe, the 13th through the 15th of June.
Okay.
It'll be the second weekend of June.
Well, awesome. Hope you guys have a great turnout.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, man. That's all the time we have right now.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it was good talking to you again.
All right.
I want to thank you for tuning in and watching Butter City. If you have an idea for a show or any comments about the shows you've seen, just check out our website at www.buttercity.com. Thanks.
Support for Butter City is provided by